everyone, I am Mike of Mike and Test Play, and welcome back to Pokemon Colosseum. Last time, we snagged our first Pokemon, and this time, we're not wasting any time. We're gonna rate Makuhita, the very first Pokemon that you can catch in this game. So let's throw up that rating, and we will get started. So, Makuhita is a pure fighting type Pokemon, which, interestingly, you get at level 30, but evolves at level 24 into its final evolution, Hariyama. So, you know, it'll evolve as soon as you level it up. Makuhita's kind of main job is, well, as we get to the three categories, offense. Makuhita gets a 9 out of 10 on offense because it's just all about attack power. The Makuhita line has very high attack and very high HP, and that's kind of the goal. It's also got a very nice offensive moveset. There's just a lot of, power behind Makuhita. It's a fighting type and tends to fall into the fighting type pattern. There isn't a whole lot that Makuhita can't just hit really hard. Now, it misses out on that 10 out of 10 just because it's not perfect offensively. Kind of just because of its low speed. Offense is both an offensive stat and the speed stat does contribute, because if you're going first, you're, well, gonna hit first. And if you're going second, then it's a little bit harder to get, the KO before you are KO'd. On defense, Makuhita actually stands up pretty well on its own. That high HP stat is very helpful, but I only give it a 7 out of 10 because the defenses are lower and actually, again, the speed comes into play. Speed isn't as necessary for a defensive Pokemon, but if you, want to, if your defense is kind of based around just high HP in this case, and being able to, offense is the best defense, you're right of a problem, then speed is again relevant. It's not bad. 7 out of 10 is fairly usable, but I'd focus more on the offense. In terms of snagging, almost useless. I give the Makuhita line a 2 out of 10, only because there is one very helpful snag-worthy move that the line learns. It's Seismic Toss, but it doesn't learn that until level 51, and that isn't great. It just means that Makuhita will only be able to do set damage, controllable damage, real late in the game, basically. So it's enough to keep him from getting a 1 out of 10, but don't use Makuhita or Hariyama as a snagging Pokemon. Its role is offense. It's very simple. Having a better natural defense from just high HP actually helps out Makuhita quite a bit, but the role that you want to choose is offense. Best moveset would be, actually you have an option at the top, either Vital Throw, which it knows naturally, or Brick Break, which is a one-time TM. But low speed, Vital Throw, always going last, it's kind of a nice match. But if you want the little bit of extra power and the ability to break screens, you can go with Brick Break. I would also recommend Cross Chop, which is the higher power, lower accuracy, but higher power fighting type move for kind of a, hey, we just need a KO in one hit. Earthquake is, actually let me take a moment on Earthquake here. Earthquake is kind of a team-defining move, and in Colosseum, kind of a game-defining move. Earthquake is tremendously useful in double battles. It's always been one of the best moves in Pokemon, but in Colosseum in particular, all double battles, Earthquake can be a team maker or a team breaker, depending. Makuhita is a worthwhile user of the sole Earthquake TM in the game, but I would just recommend a little bit of caution on it, because, well, you kind of need to build your team around Earthquake if you're going to be taking advantage of it. That's not to say that you shouldn't, but it is to say that it is a little bit limiting. Final move, Hyper Beam. Why not? Just lean into the full-on attack with a full-on attack. You could go return here, but I honestly think that with Hariyama's particular stat spread, Hyper Beam is just the better choice. Just aim to get that one-hit KO and worry about the cooldown time later. In terms of sync rating, that's where Makuhita struggles a little bit. I'm only going to give it a 6 out of 10, specifically because that earthquaking is fairly limited in terms of team building. If you want to build a team around it that isn't, earthquake friendly, then you lose out on quite a bit. In addition, Makuhita being basically just an offensive Pokemon does limit you in terms of other options as well. There's just a few team structures that he doesn't fit into, and 9 out of 10 on offense is great. Hariyama is a really good Pokemon for Colosseum, but it does limit your team building options just a bit. You're not hitting a perfect mark there. If you're counting on him as your only offense, you might run into some troubles, basically. If he's your secondary offense, absolutely fantastic. Strongly recommend. It's a 9 out of 10 on offense, so keep that in mind. But in terms of fitting into every single team, most of them, more often than not, yes, but not all the time. And that's our breakdown of Makuhita. So, nice little, 5-minute talk about that. So let's get into what we're actually doing today. Losing. Now, I know what you're thinking. I hear you. And if you're going to copy what I'm doing here, I strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that you spend all of your money. You can have done that at the outskirts stand by, as I recommended, buying more Pokeballs. You can buy some healing items at the Phoenix Mart. But if you're going to be doing this, spend all of your money. Otherwise, we're about to show off a big one. By battling... Sorry to break it to you, but I'm not about to let you pass. Or do you have this idea that you can take me in a battle? No. Wahaha! Well, of course, I'm vastly superior to the other two. There are 3 of these guys. I just had to show that text. They all have the same thing. Wahaha! Who's gonna beat me? You are! Don't be crying out of regret later! The Mystery Troop. There are 3 of them. Verde is the first one we will be battling here, and hey, look! That's Bayleaf. The middle form of a starter from the Johto games. I wonder if that's going to be relevant. And... oh, Wes! There's a Pokemon with a black aura! Bayleaf is our next snaggable Pokemon. So let's do a little damaging to it. Bayleaf here is a Pokemon who's had another significant change in their ordinary catch rate. Ordinarily, Bayleaf's catch rate would be 45, fairly low, but instead, in Colosseum, Bayleaf's snag rate is up to 180. Pretty good, overall. Now, here's going to be somewhat of the downside to what we're doing right now. We're losing this battle, intentionally. I want to be very clear on that. And it's going to show, oh boy, Espeon got poisoned. That is actually a great start for me. Because we want this battle to go as poorly as possible. Ordinarily, I'd say focus on the they still haven't been named, so I don't want to ruin it, but the non-catchable Pokemon first. Just so that they're not damaging you while you're trying to set up your snag. But, yeah, we're not doing that. So, Bayleaf is now in definitely snagging range. Grimer, come on, man. You couldn't do some damage here? But yeah, we're intentionally going to lose this. Now, we're just going to throw a Pokeball. Not even going to dupe it. But I'm going to show you what happens when you try to use 2 in one turn. The Snag machine is charging after use. It can't be used again right away. You are limited to just 1 Pokeball per turn. And now I'm going to just call. Snag should be set up. 180 is a very easy snag rate, basically. So yeah, the starters are a little bit easier to snag. And Bayleaf has... Really? Come on! How did you not go in? But yes, this is the intentional loss thing happening here. Espeon goes down, which would have happened at the end of the turn anyway, so... Woo. Makuhita, go on in there, bud. And you'll see that Makuhita's bar is already down a little bit, and by going into battle, it was just on screen for a split second, but went down a lot more. Interesting. Bayleaf also has a 3000 heart gauge, which is, you know, interesting. And we're just gonna keep just calling. And we're going to hope that it doesn't take too long to get knocked out. Alright, there we go. Bayleaf was caught. Now, interesting fun fact, because now we're in this. A couple of them, actually, here. Grimer, if you could just not do that, be helpful. Fun fact, as you may see, if you look at the Pokeballs listed right at the top of the screen here, it started where we both had 3, both towards the middle of the screen. Now we have 4, and he has 2 with a missing slot in the first space. That's because Bayleaf has joined our party, which is pretty cool. And also, something you can do is attack your own team. Did a lot of damage because of the screech. And dropped my accuracy. And Makuhita immediately goes into hyper mode. That's... I mean... Okay. Alright, let's taunt the Grimer, and let's really try to... I'm not going to cover hyper mode now because we're not ready. We've got other things going on in this episode. But, you know, been subjected to torment. Fantastic. But yeah, let's try to, seriously? Like, guys, looking to KO own team here is important to show, okay, good, you're poisoned. And Synchronize still has no effect. Cool. But, things that you probably didn't expect to see in episode 4 of this Let's Play. Self-inflicted KOs. That accuracy drop ruined me. Just ruined me. Alright, well, Umbreon's gonna get KO'd at the end of the next turn anyway, so, you know, it's fine. Umbreon KO Makuhita. Makuhita, I don't know, just, you know, just be there not doing anything. Now, ordinarily, knocking out your own Pokemon, terrible idea. But when you're trying to intentionally lose, not a terrible idea. And hopefully Bayleaf will be taken out this turn, and Umbreon is definitely taken at the end of this turn. And, yeah, we sent his own Pokemon out against him. I just want to... How are you screeching? I taunted you. Hey, I taunted him specifically so he wouldn't be able to do that. Oh well, attack the... Sure, go into hyper mode when I'm not covering hyper mode in this episode. Sure, go ahead. Just go ahead. There's reasons for this. There's things that... Would you stop not attacking me? I'm trying desperately to lose this. Oh gosh. And scored the critical hit, and the one-hit KO. Great! Verde, if you could just, like, finish the fight now, that would be greatly appreciated. There's nothing I can do here that will make me lose, and I need to lose this. And now the only thing I can do is call, which is showing off parts of hyper mode. It's what you should do when your Pokemon goes into hyper mode. Just flat out. That's what you should be doing. Okay, finally. Now, you may have been wondering the entire time, what up? Why are you losing on purpose? There's a very good reason why I'm losing on purpose. When you defeat one of the mystery troop, they all leave. But as you can see, even though we lost, we still have Bayleaf. And I'm just gonna, real quick, make an executive decision and show off the Pokemon storage feature, which lets me deposit my Johto Starters so that we can lose the next battle a little more effectively. Because the mystery troop leaves when you win. But if you lose after snagging one of their snaggable starters, then they're still there. Now, if you battle the same one again, I did test this, they will just have the Grimer and Spoink and not anything else. But if you battle a different one, then they all have the same text. Then you get a chance to snag another starter. And of course they start out with not the starter. So, right now, this is kind of what we're doing. We're just going to battle this one and get his starter. Now, as you can already see, effects that are, again, I'm trying to show things off in a way that makes sense, and already this video is longer than I intended for it to be. But that's fine. The chat hyper mode and the these fights are frustrating to lose, especially if you're trying to do so quickly. I just need to show these things off, so that's good. Have to heal instead of things because it tormented me, and yeah. This is gonna be a tricky one. Spoink uses Sideways. Maybe I should have brought one of my non-shadows so I wouldn't have to deal with the hyper mode of it all. But, you know, you live and learn. The interesting part about this is that people didn't discover this until way after the game came out. I guess because it's just a natural inclination to not seriously with the hyper modes. Seriously. Trying to lose here, people, and trying to get to the shadow and snag it so that I can show that off. Because it's very important for a full guide to show off all of the Pokemon that you can snag. Cool. Anywho, as you attack Makuhita and get the one-hitter. Okay, that's a good start. And Bayleaf's in hyper mode and mostly dead. And where is his other Pokemon? Interesting. Interesting. It's supposed to be that it shows up here. In my test, I just fought the same one again because I just wanted to make sure that it worked. So apparently, there is more to this glitch than I thought. And apparently, the internet has lied to me by telling me it was this easy. So it turns out you only do hit the one. Cool. That means that it is a guaranteed 33 shadows that are, snaggable Pokemon that are, useful here. But here's what's interesting. We're not just catching Bayleaf. We will be battling all three of them today. And yes, I just did reset the GameCube on screen. Interesting. So I didn't actually have to lose that. So I could have, saved half the time. I guess that's why people didn't discover this until a long time, because it's a glitch that requires some sort of cheat to do. Cool. So anyway, let's just fix this here. Bayleaf, when captured, will be holding a miracle seed. That is important. I didn't actually show it off because I was just going to show when I had both, but as it turns out, you can't get both. So my research lied to me, which is interesting. And I'm just going to be showing Mystery Troop Rosso here as well. Interesting. I have done so much research on this game, and everything told me that this would be possible, and yet it is not. So I guess if you have some way to actually do this and make it work, that you can get all three starters in one shot, go ahead, show me. I would love to be able to show it off. But as it is now, let's just show how you should do this fight. By trying to win it. Or at least not lose it on purpose. Quilava here! I should just focus on Quilava. Quilava is, of course, the fire-type starter from the Johto region, and, I mean, one of my all-time favorites. But Quilava is also a Pokemon with a boosted Snag rate, from, again, 45 all the way up to 180. Again, with a heart gauge of 3,000. Now, I'm just going to try to very quickly snag him here. Just damaged him a little bit. And we'll just do that. Oh, what am I doing? What am I trying to save things for? And we'll hit it with a return if it doesn't get snagged. Of course not. I'm not gonna have good luck with snags on screen, am I? Oh, this will be fun. Because honestly, a Great Ball at a 180 with injuries should have worked. You don't usually need the Great Balls on the starters here, but you know, so it is. Let's just, you know what? I could be biting this point, but let's snag this Quilava. There we go. Okay, excellent. Quilava was caught. And then we're just going to reset again. Because I'm showing off all three of the possibilities now. I thought I was showing off that you could get all three, but I was always going to reset anyway. That's why I didn't care about spending the money or anything like that, because the post-game would have been messed up if, you know, you had all three of the starters. So I just wanted to make sure that we were doing everything correctly, but I thought I was showing off a glitch, and it turned out the internet lied to me. Or there's an extra step that I just could not find in my research. So there you go. Let's fight Mystery Troop number 3. Yeah. You're not allowed to let me pass. But, I don't think this is going to go as well for you as you think it is, Mystery Troop Bluno. Croconaw and Grimer. Croconaw, it may not surprise you, is the third starter available here. I still can't believe that the research is wrong. It's honestly shocking to me. Because like I watched a video of someone do this and it just happened. Oh well. Let's do this fight right. I mean, we were sort of doing it right in the last fight, but you know, let's do it really right this time, because this one we're keeping. Croconaw is the third starter, and again, has been shifted a bit. The snag rate goes from an ordinary 45 all the way up to 180, and with again a heart gauge of 3,000. We will be rating all three of these starter Pokemon in the next video, in the next episode, right at the start of it, really. Let's see. I think, no, I can just go for it. Because I have decided that for this Let's Play, I will need money, and duping Pokeballs is a great way to hang on to that. So, we're going to do it as often as we can. Now, that's the, like, technical real reason for doing it, but there is an in-game reason for justifying basically stealing from Pokemon Marts, too. Wes is a former criminal. A very recently former criminal. And again, terrible snagging luck to start. Yeah, just going super well on that. But Wes is a criminal who, by the way, snagged a whole lot of Pokemon from ordinary trainers before. So, him doing it again from worse criminals? You know, to steal things from worse criminals? That's in character for him. I highly believe that is in character for Wes. Pretty cool. There it is. Okay. Quilava would have been holding a charcoal. Croconaw, as you will see in just a moment here, is holding the Mystic Water. Or as you would see if I show that, but I probably won't because I was trying to do this episode in between 15 to 20, and we're at like the 26-minute mark. So, you know, that didn't happen. Oh gosh, every video is going to take longer than I think, isn't it? That's fine. It's a full guide. We're doing everything. And now we have snagged, in one video, all 3 starter Pokemon, but we're only keeping 1. I would recommend, even if you can figure out how to work that glitch correctly, I would recommend it. I would recommend just picking your 1 starter. What was that strange Pokemon? What did you people do to it? That? It's a Pokemon that we turned into a fighting machine by artificially closing the door to its heart. No, you didn't. You artificially closed the door to that poor Pokemon's heart? Humph. That's not going to help you do anything. Run away! I know. When I was little, I heard about that. They say that if any Pokemon closes the door to its heart, it can be gradually reopened by battling together with it. Wes, let's go. Those guys are probably headed for Pyrite Town. After all, it was in Pyrite that they captured me. And yeah, that's going to be a good place to end off this video. So thank you so much for watching. And join us next time for, well, raiding the 3 starter shadows. I mean, Pokemon whose doors have been artificially closed. See you then.